Welcome to WomanCEO Money Matters. I am your host, Yasmine Belle, coming to you with over 20 years as a tax accountant, CFO, and financial empowerment coach. This podcast is specially made for you if you are a woman seeking to live a life of intention and purpose while changing your situationship into a relationship with your money. You will learn tips, tools, and practical strategies through the WCEO model to build wealth, confidence, empowerment, and opportunity while making an impact through a wellness mindset. The investment we make today creates the next generation of women leaders, so let's begin. Quote of the day by Khalil Gibran. There are two types of people, one who sleep in the light and one who wakes up in the darkness. Hi everyone. Today I want to share with you what taking back the keys to the kingdom really means. And it's actually one of our core building blocks here at WomanCEO, as it has such a profound impact. Taking back the keys to your kingdom really means that no matter what, you will never give your power to anyone or anything. When we operate from our power, we are operating at our authentic and most high vibrational self. When we are in our power, we attract powerful things, and this power is our highest vibration. We start now attracting high vibrational people, and opportunities start presenting themselves. Today, we stand in our truth about money and what it represents to us now in our current economic crisis, and what techniques and practices to shift us to a highly vibrational self, attracting wealth, paving the way to the CEO in you. In today's economy, most of us, if not all, have been brought to our knees of some sort, shape, or form. We have all been dealt with some cards where we found ourselves scratching our heads going, huh? What? Why? How? You're not alone. One of the most inhuman practices we can do is to isolate ourselves. We are not made for isolation and lack of connection and touch. Yes, I know, we have Zoom, and trust me, I have had my share of Zoom happy hours, but there are actual chemicals in our brain, such as oxytocin and dopamine, that actually make you feel affection and euphoria, and kissing releases serotonin, which is another feel-good chemical. I call these the happy juices. Well, this economy not only hurt our chemical mental health, but due to the lack of the happy juices and isolation are causing a whirlwind of mental disorders. And on top of that, we have gotten a huge hit in our financial health. In fact, the divorce rate is the highest as of late. They have been calling the divorce pandemic because one of the main causes for divorce is money. So what the F? What is happening? This is when I wish I had a magic wand and make all this BS disappear and make the world feel so happy and immersed in those happy juices. When I read about the pandemic divorce amongst couples, it made me ask, what is the real reason behind the uncoupling? Is it really financial issues? Could it be part of communication? Could it be fear? Could it be anger? Could it be shame? I know that one of my closest friends is getting a divorce right now, and it is heartbreaking because on top of it all, we add this to the mix. Due to the economic crisis, it has made us face with some demons within us, outside us, and all around us. I could write a book on my experience. I just had this last year. Actually, I could probably write a few novels. Well, where do I even begin? But in today's podcast, it's not about me, it's about you. And I wanted to share with you a few secrets in hopes to give you some insight and clarity on your money situation that could eliminate the overthinking of what to do next. In my previous podcast released on Wednesday, I spoke about self-love and how self-love really changed my personal finances in life, my habits, and how I manage my money, as well as the value I put on my money. We're never taught these things in school. We're taught to go to business school to run a business, never taught about how to run our primary business, which is ourselves, our emotions, our thoughts, our relationships, our habits, our beliefs. We all have been conditioned somehow in some way, and I know you feel me on this one. But let's face it, this is a time when we're brought to our knees and we have a decision to make. Who are you going to be when everything goes back to somewhat the norm? What have you learned from all this shenanigans? What are your lessons? What are your blessings? What have you practiced that did work? And maybe something that didn't even quite make it to the finish line. Write about it. Be honest with yourself. If you are not honest with yourself, who will be? Our stats in the US of having an emergency fund is less than 40%. That's right. So over 60% of Americans do not have an 8 to 10 month emergency fund. And this was pre-COVID. Could you imagine what the stats are now? But let's be in our truth. This podcast is about having the courageous conversation around money, so let's not beat around the bush and squash it. In order for you to move the needle in the money realm, you have to ask yourself if you have an 8 to 10 month emergency fund. If you do, glorious. We're going to step 2. However, if you do not have an emergency fund, girl, don't you wish you had that right now? Or better yet, maybe made some better decision around money? Well, today you get to decide if this is your calling to change your situationship into a relationship with your money. Step 1, look at your spending habits and where you can cut cost. 2, identify your needs and wants. And no, we do not have different needs. Needs are a necessity to live, such as food, lodging, gas to work. Those are needs. Wants is anything else that you can put on hold until we can focus on the emergency fund. Number 3, if you have a mortgage, credit card payment, federal student loan, all of those expenses can be reduced. Call your mortgage lender, have them work with you on your mortgage payment. You could easily save about $2,000 to $3,000 a month if you live in an expensive city such as LA. Second, call your credit card company, even if you can pay it, and ask them for a relief program. Reduce your monthly payment and put that extra money that you would normally put to your mortgage or to your credit card into your emergency fund. Then focus on your student loan. Get those deferred. And again, do the same thing. Put that money that you would normally pay for your student loan and put it into your emergency fund. Number 4, watch your spending on food. Girl, I know I am a foodie, but I too had to make some changes even if I could afford it. Don't go to restaurants and make dinner at home. And this is a great opportunity for you to learn how to cook. It's amazing. And this leads me to the last but most important. To take the keys to your kingdom, you need to live below your means, but within your needs. Let me repeat that. Live below your means, but within your needs. We often have nice cars, penthouse apartments, and no cash or savings into an investment because we're way too busy chasing the Joneses and wanting the next best thing. Trust me, I know firsthand. I will share my story on this particular subject in another episode as there is so much to cover, but for now, let's focus on the emergency fund and getting your finance straight. Step 2, if you have an emergency fund, now you can go to this next step. Do you have a retirement account? If so, which one? Are they tax now or tax later or tax advantage? If you're not certain, here's the deets. Tax now is when you're paying taxes now. So basically after tax. Checking account, savings, CDs, stocks, mutual funds. Tax later is when you pay taxes when you pull out the money. So at a later date, such as 401k, 403b, IRA, SEP IRA, annuities, and pensions. Tax advantage is when you don't have to pay taxes on the gains, such as Roth IRA, 529 college funds, mini bonds, health savings account, life insurance, long-term care, and death benefits. So when my clients come to me for financial planning, I have them diversify in all these 3 main investment portfolios. However, not one size fits all because it really depends on your age and how aggressive you want to be in terms of your investment. And what are your short and long-term goals? Is it buying a house? Is it retiring soon? So all these have a factor in your investment strategy. Another investment rule that I have is if you're going to need the money less than a year, do not invest it, as taking out the money before has a high risk. And also, if the market tanks, you could be losing a ton of money, and not to mention the penalty if you were taking it sooner than expected. So do your homework on what account is best for you and where you want your money to grow. Investment accounts are for retirement. So the longer you leave your money in them, the longer you're able to save, and you can have the benefit of compound interest. Knowing the rule of 72, super, super important. The rule of 72 shows that how you calculate the effect of compound interest with a simple formula. Basically, what you want to do is you want to divide 72 by your rate of return, and that equals to the years that it takes to double your money. So for example, if you have a 4% rate of return, right? So you take 72 divided by 4 and equals 18. So it will take you 18 years to double your money. See why keeping your money in an investment account can lead to more savings and compound interest? And this is the juice. There's this saying that nothing is certain except death and taxes. I know, super morbid, but I had to say it. Well, let's talk tax for a minute since this is my expertise. If typically you owe taxes each year, then what are you doing with that money? Are you paying Uncle Sam? Well, did you ever ask yourself, what can you do to avoid paying Uncle Sam, instead putting that extra $2,000 to $3,000 maybe that you have an investment account like a 401k, life insurance, etc.? This could save you hundreds, if not thousands. Now, if you typically get a refund back from Uncle Sam, then you still should take an audit of your finances and ask yourself, why do you keep getting the refund? Are you paying too much taxes in advance? Let's assume that you're getting back $1,000. Well, are you getting back interest on that $1,000? No. So why do most people look at it as a positive outlook? Let's say you could argue it's better to get a refund than to owe, but that's the whole point, knowing where your money goes. And if you are paying too much, and where your investment and tax strategies need to take place. And if you're paying too much in taxes and getting a refund, where can you adjust your tax rate to reflect more of a break-even point? Now imagine if you had that $1,000 refund that normally you would receive from Uncle Sam, right, as a refund at the end of the year. Well, imagine if you had that money that you invested at the beginning of the year and you were making money on it. You were making interest. Wouldn't that be a better gain? The more awareness you bring to yourself, the more you can have an honest conversation about yourself and make the change. We so often are so busy asking other people questions when in reality should really be asking ourselves. No one can live your life for you. It is up to you to make the change and stand in your truth. This is the optimal time to think, strategize, and get that title to your kingdom in your name. Get your keys, girl. Self-love is about being honest with yourself and being fearless in the pursuit of what makes your soul sing. So empower yourself to change your money habits, learn to pivot when needed, adapt, and go full throttle on your dreams. Remember to stay in your highest vibration and have the courageous conversation around money. So we covered a lot in today's episode. We brushed on emergency fund, how to get expenses reduced by contacting your lenders. We also went over some investment strategies and which options are taxable, non-taxable, and tax advantages. We also went through personal tax return, owed, and refunds by Uncle Sam and what to look for. And more importantly, I invite you to get to know yourself at a deeper level, stand in your truth, be vulnerable because vulnerability is one of the most courageous things one can do, and honor your courage. I will have more content on our Facebook page at WomanCEO Money Chat this upcoming week, so please check it out if you want more details and information on this episode. Thank you for letting me share my voice with you. WomanCEO's Money Matters is brought to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the topics of wealth, confidence, empowerment, and opportunity. If you love this episode and want more content, subscribe to our blog and join our Facebook group at WomanCEO Inc. Remember, live with intention and purpose while igniting the woman CEO in you. Until next time, ciao.